On my way home from work, I literally would stop at Dunkin Donuts every single afternoon or evening. And I would get me a donut. I would get a donut because, I probably worked like a good 6-hour shift. And I worked with kids. And the last time I would eat prior to, working was maybe like 2 o'clock. And at that point, it was usually like 8 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening. So I'd go get a donut for $1. And I realized like after, getting to know some of the employees and stuff like that, I would end up getting free donuts, like 3, 4, 5 donuts for free because they were closing. And it never occurred to me at that point that like I'm unconsciously literally like killing myself with sugar. So that was one of the things, I would sit down also and eat like a whole box of Oreos. I would sit down and eat a whole pint of ice cream, or I would make some dessert and top it with ice cream. And there's nothing wrong with having dessert, but it was excessive. So I think when I realized I had a problem was when I couldn't eat dinner or lunch or any meal practically without ending it with dessert. One of the things I first did to kind of like move myself toward getting rid of this addiction was, first of all, realizing I had a problem. I know it sounds so cliche, but when I was eating those donuts and when I would sit down and eat loads of cookies and ice cream, I wasn't aware of what I was doing. I stopped and thought, well, do I know all the ingredients? Like, what's in this, And as I started to become aware of that, I realized how much sugar I was intaking. Bread, bread was a huge thing, because growing up in Jamaica, like everybody loves hard dough bread, everybody loves bun and cheese, and sweet treats and all the different cakes that we have all year round. There's Easter cakes, there's Christmas cakes, there's stuff that you just eat every day just because you love it. Like we grew up on sugar. That was a huge thing. Like porridge is a huge part of my culture, and best believe it's naturally loaded with loads of condensed milk. And I had to figure out how I was gonna keep eating porridge, because I love porridge without all that sugar. So I moved from condensed milk to brown sugar and then to dates. And before I went to dates, I lowered the amount of brown sugar I was putting in the porridge, like by half. I think that made a huge difference because my taste buds started to adjust to a lower amount of sugar. So I actually did a 3-day juice cleanse where I only had juice. So whether it was carrot juice, orange juice, a combination of the two, green juice, I would just have, I think I had about 3 or 4 juices for the day, and I had it for 3 days straight. That was the catalyst of how I was able to get rid of my addiction. I think the hardest part is being consistent, right? Because when you think about, picking up a cup of tea and drinking it, you automatically want to add sugar. Or when you go to Starbucks, you automatically want to get like a latte or macchiato. Well, guess what? Those lattes have 4 pumps of syrup, you guys. I actually researched the amount of syrup that they put in these Starbucks drinks, and I was blown away. The amount of calories in just one drink. I would eat at home a lot more than going out. So instead of eating out every week, I would probably do it every other week. I wouldn't go to the cafeteria at work. I would literally only eat things that I made myself. Like, even if I couldn't resist eating something sugary, I would make it at home instead of buying it out, because at least I could put less sugar. Eating like the standard American diet, from croissants and bread and tea and my sugar and lattes and all of that excess sugar and Kool-Aid and juices that are not fresh juices but just like juice from the store. Like, from cutting all that out from the beginning to the end, I would say it was a good 3 months. And like I said, I took my time, so it wasn't an overnight process. But by the end of it, I pretty much only drank or ate any type of sugars that were natural, or if I did have sugar, it would be occasional. Like, if I did make something a sweet treat, I would not make it every week. It would be like a once a month, if that much, type of thing. I never craved it at that point. At the end of it, it was more like, I could use something sweet. But if I didn't have it, it wasn't the end of the world. Versus in the beginning of the journey, like, I could not stand to not have something sweet every single day, if not twice or 3 times a day. My advice to anyone struggling with a sugar addiction is to be aware of your actions. Start to take time to pause before you put something into your mouth and analyze, what's in it. Do you understand how your body consumes and is nourished by what's in it? Don't look at anything that you consume as, okay, wow, this is only $2-3. This is a great deal. I should eat it. It gets me full. Don't look at it as a price. Look at it as, what value am I getting from what I am taking in right now? If you're not getting any value, or it's only an emotional experience, whether you're binge eating or you're doing it because it's going to make you feel better, then you really have to reevaluate issues and stress and all that there's a whole nother aspect to the reasons why we choose to eat sugars. To understand that it's a process, be forgiving with yourself when you mess up, and just take it one day at a time. Make sure that every day you're doing something towards changing those bad habits. And I think that was the key for me. If you're the type of person that could say, okay, I'm gonna do a 7-day no sugar cleanse, and that's it, like after that, no sugar for me, you could try that, but I don't think that's sustainable. I think it's sustainable to not shock your body, to do something that is adaptable. Your body had to take time to adapt. One of the things I also did to understand what I was doing to myself is research. Sugar is not only metabolized as a carbohydrate and stored as a fat, but 80% of any processed sugar that you intake goes to your bloodstream. It affects your energy. It affects the quality of life. And when you see the other side to life, when you see the life without that 80%, it's amazing. You're never gonna want to go back. You're never gonna have the taste buds for that kind of sugar. So I hope this video helped you. Let me know if you have an addiction to sugar down below in the comments. I still love sweet treats. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I still eat vegan sweets, but it is regulated, you just gotta regulate it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a comment down below. Like it if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.